This is the Real Change Wilmington podcast, episode 75, Wilmington College Inaugurates First Female President, part 2 of 2, with our guest today, Cockerill.
Every day you get to witness the transformation of lives. Like, just pause on that phrase for a second, right? What an incredible career to be so privileged to get to witness every day thousands of lives transforming in front of you because of education.
What is going on, everyone? This is your host of the Real Change Wilmington podcast, Dustin Pierce. Real Change is a positive, constructive, and lighthearted source of local news, events, and resources. On our podcast, we interview leaders of local organizations to help squash rumors and encourage a greater sense of pride in our community. We have a great interview for you today with our guest, Cockerill. If you haven't had a chance to listen to part 1 of our interview with her, go ahead and hit pause and listen to episode 69 of our podcast, where Corey talks about her background growing up, how she met her husband, some of the highlights of her career journey, and also shares about the history of Wilmington College. We recorded this episode that you're listening to now after Corey was inaugurated president during the summer. So Corey updated us on their recent $23 million donation that they received from the late Jerry Sheevey, which marks the largest donation that the college has received in their 155-year history. This money is earmarked to be used for a new indoor running track, as well as other athletic infrastructure and sports programming updates. On this podcast, Corey shares about where her vision is for the college's role in Wilmington's community, and she updates us on the college involvement with the old Masonic Temple building that is on Main Street next to the Murphy Theater. Finally, as always, I end the podcast by asking Corey about what is one positive change that she would like to see in Wilmington. And I loved her response about how she would like us to lean in to the things that our community is already doing well and be proud of those things. I won't give away her exact answer, but I am thankful for the time she gave to share with us about the stuff that the college is doing to make Wilmington proud. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Corey and get this episode started. Corey, welcome back to the podcast. And I still welcome back even though I'm at your office. So thank you for hosting.
Yeah, of course.
Last time we talked, it was pre-inauguration.
Yeah.
So I think the next couple of days, or maybe the next day, you were getting inaugurated.
I think so. Yeah.
Your speech was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Upside down.
Upside down.
Yeah, the picture I used.
Yeah. I like the part when you said something about, I'm going to butcher it, something about your heritage and the future and like history isn't inherited, it's created or something like that.
Yeah, we did.
Good. It was a good quote.
Speech was broken into 2 parts. One was this picture of me, age 18 months, hanging upside down on a swing set bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like that's how you have to approach higher education today. In other words, we have to take risks. We have to look for spotters and helpers, and be open to collaboration and partnerships. But we also have to look at things from a different angle, completely upside down. What happens if we flip the world upside down and approach it from that angle? And that's what higher education is calling for. So it was kind of a metaphor for this leadership approach. And then the second half of the speech was a time hop. And we went back in time. Actually, we went forward in time. We went forward to the year 2060, I think. We jumped significantly, and we looked at what will they say in the future about the decisions we made right now. 2065, we jumped ahead to 2065. What will they say? Will they say we were brave, that we took risks, that we looked at it from a different angle, that we leaned into partnerships, that we were open to exploring new opportunities, that we weren't married to status quo? And we hope that's what they say. So it was a 2-part speech.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to write.
It was good.
I write a lot of speeches. That's my all-time fave. That was fun.
Nice.
I was ready to deliver that. Yeah. It was good.
Well, we were honored to get the invite.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys being there. It was humbling, very, very humbling day. Yeah, I cried a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like your kids stood up and like said some nice things about you. Like that was probably
They did. It was hard to hear. I'm not used to that kind of attention. And really it was just a celebration for our campus community. And I wanted it to be that. And I felt like it was. It was very genuine.
Mm-hmm.
It was very homegrown. It felt very Wilmington.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of love.
So you're on time crunch today.
That's all right.
I'm going to zip through some things. So for those of you who don't know, we did a podcast with you before, and we talked about your backgrounds and some highlights.
Mm-hmm.
You met your husband at 4-H camp.
I did.
You followed him to Wilmington College while you were doing undergrad or graduate at OSU?
All of the above.
Okay. And then you had a short career in journalism,
Yeah.
the ag specialty?
Sort of community profiles. They gave me all the soft stuff.
And then that wasn't for you, so you pursued a career in education.
I did.
And your first job was Wilmington College, right?
No, actually, my first job was with the Division of Wildlife.
Right.
Yep.
That was, okay. And then Wilmington College.
Yes.
Okay. Because you were traveling too much and you had a family. Right?
That's right.
All right. And then you discussed about Quaker values, the history of the college. And I want to get more like local challenges now. But first, you guys got that humongous grant for the new, is it a running track?
So yeah, it was a gift that was left to us by the late Jerry Sheeby, former women's basketball coach, had a long and successful career at Wilmington College. He brought our women's basketball team to a national championship in 2004, which is a remarkable achievement for a small school like Wilmington. And he spent his whole career here. He lived the Wilmington College mission. He believed in really setting your bar higher than default, pushing yourself as far as you can go, having the national championship mindset. He said, play with the poise and intensity of a national championship team. And I just believe that really represents an ethos that he carried with him to other aspects of his work life. It's what he expected of his students and his players, and it's what he expected of us with this gift. He wanted us to pursue excellence with the gift, and so he distributed it very carefully and specifically in areas that resonated with him. I think that in which he connected deeply around the mission. Part of that was ensuring excellence in the athletic experience for students. So that's where you'll see the Jenna Parlett Running Center, which is in honor of a student who passed away during a race. Jenna Parlett, that was something we had hoped to build in her honor in the mid-2010s after she passed, and we weren't able to put the funding together. But with Jerry's gift, we were able to do that. So that's a part of it. And there are going to be other upgrades to the entrance into what will be the Sheevy Athletic Center, which is the old YMCA. It's under renovation now. That will include ADA accessible entryway into both Herman Court and the Sheevy Athletic Center. And then it touches on a number of other athletic upgrades. There's also an element to support international affairs, because he took a lot of international trips with his players. And I think he witnessed what happens when students leave their zip code, leave the United States, enter into, new territory, new culture, new experiences, what that does for them. So his gift reflects that and the passion he had for helping students kind of open up their world. And then finally, the peace mission, the peace value that we adhere to at Wilmington College, he wanted to ensure that. So his gift supports peace programming. It's a $23 million gift. It's the largest gift the institution has ever received. And it will definitely change lives at Wilmington College. We say it changes the trajectory of the institution.
So I don't know how to ask this in a PC way, but that's a lot of money. Where did he get that?
He also was a professor of accounting.
Okay.
And he was a savvy investor.
Okay.
And so he made some key investments as a young professional that worked out in his favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's giving them to his college.
He did. And actually, they were distributed to a number of benefactors. Wilmington College wasn't the only one. A lot of gifts to support communities and community development. He gave a lot to his church community, so he believed in giving back. He had kind of that spirit of service and supporting others.
You mentioned like the peace piece of it.
Yeah.
And like a Quaker value is pacifism, is that right?
It is. It's a practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always interpreted that as like not addressing issues.
Oh,
But I think
no.
that you maybe I don't know, I think it was you who said
Yeah.
it, maybe last podcast or
It's
like in your
leaning
speech.
in.
It was conflict resolution.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like I'm like 100% behind that
Yeah.
part
It's
of it.
it's to me, I think of it as bringing people to the middle,
Hmm.
finding common ground, building bridges,
Yeah.
working shoulder to shoulder, not face to face, non-confrontational. But the origin, the root of it is that Quakers believe in the light of God in each person, and that light shines, and it's up to us to kind of facilitate that light in others. And so they take an anti-violence perspective, the light of God in each person.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, it's all about conflict resolution and working to help that light shine in others, even where we disagree.
Yeah. So where we left off last time on our podcast was we were talking about nationwide challenges to higher education.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we got into it on our podcast, but when you spoke at Cape May,
Yeah.
you mentioned some of the local problems that were here when you came into
Yeah.
presidency. And like, I'm not asking you to throw people under the bus, but like, what was this? I think it was specifically around budgeting, like how budgeting has changed since you've started. And like, what was the problem and how did you change it to resolve that?
Sure. So, budgeting in higher education is a challenge, right? There are challenges to federal funding as a source. We don't receive a lot of federal funding, so that's not a major challenge for us. A big challenge in budgeting is predicting the number of students you'll have on campus or as part of your educational programming. In general, those trends are down. They're trending downwards. So the number of high school graduates is declining, which means the number of college students will also decline. They call it the demographic cliff, but I don't think of it so much as a cliff as sort of a gradual decline. So putting together efforts to kind of offset that or backfill that or accommodate for that has been our strategy. We also had significant turnover. When we went through this transition, when I was named interim president, we had a lot of turnover happening at the same time. So that turnover meant we had kind of instability in the business office. So those factors all presented a challenging picture. I think our approach was to say, okay, let's lean into zero-based budgeting. Let's build a budget that meets the needs of the institution, that is collaborative in nature, that allows for all of the budget managers to say, this is what I need in order to implement the mission. And we'll start there and we'll see what that package is into, right? If we add that all up, what do we need just to support the mission? And then we'll look at revenue and we'll make sure we match. The idea is to stay in budget or on budget, to have a balanced budget each year. And we were able to do that by starting from scratch. The way I think of it is higher education, I think trend or practice is to assume last year's budget and just replicate it, right? Year to year. Maybe you tweak a little bit here or there. But if you do that, you're essentially copying and pasting. And in doing that, I believe you are restricting innovation. If we copy paste and this is the amount of money that we receive by default, that doesn't lend itself well to supporting new initiatives, to being a risk taker, to being innovative or entrepreneurial. And so we decided to start with the central question, what do you need to support the mission? And the zero-based approach, you had to sort of defend as you're building your budget, how does this support the mission and what eventually became our strategic plan? So you really did have to defend where each dollar was applied in your own budget.
It sounded like maybe before that you had a forecast for how many students would be here. So you kind of set the budget on that.
Yes.
And then throughout the school year, when you maybe didn't meet that number of students, you had to cut things.
Yeah.
So it was constantly like, make a plan. And then like halfway through the school year, we had to cut a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So like, you're not doing that anymore. Right?
We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Also, in the strategic plan, as we talked about at Cape May, the seventh pillar is really about embracing diversification of the students we serve, right? And that meant establishing a prison program, really building up our online program, international students, graduate students. It meant growing different profiles, right, for our enrollment. And those enrollment profiles, we're not just relying on traditional undergraduate students. We're looking to grow each of those enrollment profiles. And that changes, so you're less reliant on one number, right, the number of first-time freshmen that are coming to campus, and you're looking more at growth across all of these profiles.
Mhm.
That was a new strategy for us.
And then you guys are like, you have like a categories of excellence too, right? Like your sports medicine and stuff.
Yeah, so we're known for, we have, I would say, a reputation in agriculture and in the sports sciences. Those are two of our largest programs. Agriculture is the largest program. About a third or a little more than a third of our students declare ag as a major, a minor, or equine business management is another signature program. And then the second largest is sports sciences. And that includes sport management, exercise science, and we have a new program in sport nutrition.
Didn't you just release an ag master's program?
We did.
Okay.
That's part of that enrollment profile development. Graduate programs are a chance for us to kind of move into that space, but also attract those who've completed a bachelor's degree, right, but who are looking to maybe add value to their degree or advance in their career. And so, yeah, we're looking to develop new graduate programs to diversify that enrollment profile starting in the fall of 26. So we'll recruit this year.
Very cool.
It's very exciting.
One question that I had last time I didn't get to ask is, how do you feel like your journey or experience as president is different because you're female? Or do you feel like that's different at all?
Well,
you're the first inaugurated president as a female. So
yeah.
do you feel like you have any unique challenges or?
So that was part of the speech. Like I talked about it a bit in the inauguration speech, and it's a question I get a lot, and it's one that I answer the same way. I don't actually consider my female status as a unique identifier. It just never occurred to me that I was a woman in a field where women might be a minority, right? And that goes for agriculture. It just wasn't something that defined me. I didn't think about it. I didn't let it define me. I never felt like I was overcoming being a woman. I just did it, right? Whatever I wanted to do, I just did.
Yeah.
And I never thought about sex or gender as being a barrier. So it's not something that occurred to me.
Yeah.
I did not set out in this world to be a pioneering female in fields that in which, that you may be a minority. I just happen to be in fields that I think present challenges that I enjoy. Whether that's a woman in a STEM field, a woman in a field as specific as agriculture, or now in higher education administration. I just lean into challenges. I think that's part of who I am. Just happen to be female.
Yeah. You don't seem like someone who's trying to prove something. You just seem like you're the obvious qualified fit for the position.
If anything, I'm trying to prove something to myself.
Okay.
I want to know that I can do it. I feel like I'm on a journey, an adventure. This life is an adventure, and I'd love to try everything I can in this adventure. And so opportunities that present themselves, that even those that seem challenging, I want to give a try. I want to see what this is all about. So yeah, I guess I'm entrepreneurial. I like challenges.
It seemed like maybe the message of first female inaugurated president was like pushed.
It was
not from you. It's just like it's showing that like
it's not lost on me that that's something that inspires other people, and I don't ever mean to negate that source of inspiration. I have a daughter, and I recognize that being in these roles and normalizing that is important to her. I want her to see women in these fields in which they maybe aren't as popular. So yes, I recognize that this is a source of inspiration, that it is a point of pride, that the Board of Trustees in particular, they did a great thing, right? Recognizing that this is an important symbol of who we are, and recognizing that diversification of, those in these leadership positions is important. So that's not lost on me. It's just not why I'm here.
Yeah.
But I'm proud and humbled and honored to be in that position and to be a source of inspiration for others who see that, recognize that, and want to honor that.
Yeah. What's been one of your most proudest moments since being president?
Wow. I would say there are a lot. I mean, every day I'm humbled by something new, quite frankly. Every day I come in sort of anticipating what's going to happen, and then that day throws me a curveball, and often that curveball is something to celebrate. There have been a lot of celebrations, from the gift from Jerry Sheevy to the inauguration, first female, national championships. Each one of those is an incredible feat. There have just been a lot of celebrations, a lot of humbling moments. I don't know if I have just one. Sometimes it's a student who accomplishes something that I was able to witness, that, first gen student who didn't think she could make it the 4 years or become, say, a teacher. She inspires me. Sometimes it's the daily stories that I get to witness that I would call unexpected sources of joy. And I don't know if I could narrow to just one.
Yeah. Do you ever get like joy when someone tells you their mindset has changed because of like something you've
Every
modeled for
day.
them? Yeah.
Every day. Every day you get to witness the transformation of lives.
Yeah.
Like, just pause on that phrase for a second, right? What an incredible career to be so privileged to get to witness every day thousands of lives transforming in front of you because of education. But I cannot think of anything more miraculous. It's truly incredible. You get to welcome them in as freshmen, which we'll do in a couple weeks. You get to see them take ownership of their lives, which is, unique in its own way. They recognize, I'm here, I'm making decisions, I'm becoming an adult, I'm choosing my pathway, I'm finding agency. Really cool to witness. And then you see them turn that agency into a set of goals or a vision, and then you see them chase that. And in the end, they do. And they leave here, and they're successful, and they build lives around it. And you are witnessing that transformation live. I always say front row seat. It's a front row seat to that. And that's incredible. If you think about the former president, Jim Reynolds, used to say, we're changing family trees. That's a profound way of saying it. I think about just the ripple effect of education. And I've said humbling probably 10 times in this podcast, but it is so humbling. It just leaves you speechless, but full of joy.
Yeah. I think it's education, maybe also just leadership in general.
For sure.
I'm sure you've experienced some of that with even your team.
Yeah. Witnessing at Wilmington College in particular, we are highly collaborative, right? We do a lot as teams. I've never done anything alone, independent of other people. So, if you've ever been a part of a team that accomplishes something where everybody contributed and what you built was unique to that team effort, the collaboration paid off, that you developed something that was creative and important, and that you launched into the world and it made a difference. That's what we do at Wilmington College all the time. We're very collaborative by the nature of being a Quaker institution and recognizing that all voices matter. Practicing, we talked last time about consensus-based decision-making. Right. It really is the difference. I'm not touting it because, I want to sell consensus as a decision-making process, but it changes how much buy-in you get from people, right? Because they have to contribute to the solution.
Yeah.
It's not easy because you're all working together. You all have different tools. You all have different ideas of how we're going to, create this thing, this idea, this program or process. And in the end, that you contributed a bit, but everybody else in the room contributed something.
Yeah.
And the end product is that much better for the process. The means matter as much as the ends.
Yeah.
And that's a cool part about working at a collaborative institution. I don't know if I've always wanted that, but now that I'm a part of it, I can't imagine doing anything. I would not be great if I left here and went on to a traditional career.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would be effective at making decisions because I'd want to know what everybody else thinks. I'd want to build it together, not a top-down approach. You won't find one here.
Is that this again, not going to be PC, but is that more of like a feminine quality of like collaborative thinking? I feel like a
No,
lot of men do it, like, but I'm just asking the question.
I don't think so. I think it's very Quaker.
Yeah,
I mean, I was introduced to, as a junior faculty, I came in, I am introverted. I think I revealed that the last time we talked. So I came in quiet, reserved, and really not willing to share a perspective. I didn't feel like my voice was worthy of being heard. I had to listen more. So I sat through a couple years as a junior faculty of faculty meetings where we were making decisions, and I could tell that there was a lot of pressure from whoever was leading the meeting to hear from everybody. And they would like call you out. Corey, what do you think? Or Wynn, what do you think? And at the time, I felt like it was a high pressure situation. Like I have to come up with something so I can contribute. I have to appear smart and pulled together. And like I have lots of ideas because they're expecting me to contribute something, brilliant. And as it turns out, the process is really, you can't even move forward unless you know that you have a sense of the whole room. It's a tremendous responsibility of the person leading the meeting to ensure that you have collected all the ideas, all the input, and you're able to take that collection and read it and interpret it and turn it into something, that you're going to move forward with. You're going to make a decision as a collective.
Yeah.
And for a couple years, I was unprepared to be part of that collective. And then it just hit me. Probably 3 years in, I'm doing a disservice, or I'm kind of dragging behind by not contributing. Even if it's a simple I agree, or Quakers say, I'm easy with that. That's a great phrase. I'm easy with that.
I think maybe I was misinterpreting it as like collaborative as being timid, like, oh, like, what? I'm not going to express my opinion until you tell me your opinion. Like, that's what I'm thinking of when I think that. But you're thinking like, something different.
I'm not afraid to express my opinion.
Yeah.
I recognize in this role that it's a weighty opinion. Quakers use that as well. Weighty just means carries a lot of weight. Like it's a heavy opinion. I don't want my opinion to steer the direction to present a bias, right? Because people feel like they need to conform. I don't want that. So I'm reserved, but it's really to honor the process.
Because of your role, you're reserved.
Yes.
You're the president. So if you maybe say your piece too early.
Here's what I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Exactly.
But I'm not afraid to now say, what are we now? I'm 18 years in. This is my 18th year at Wilmington College.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready to contribute. I tend to hold back until I get a sense of the room and then I contribute. But it's a really magical process to witness. I don't think it's something, unique to women or men. It's a very Quaker thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know, there are probably other organizations, maybe religious organizations that practice consensus-based decision-making. We say based because it's really about, they call it discernment, discerning the room. I don't know if there are other organizations that use it, but I would tout it and promote it as much as I could.
Yeah. We ended the last podcast talking about community collaboration, and there's this thing in the community about like, are we a college town or a town with a college?
Yeah.
And like my bias to that conversation has always been like, well, of course we don't want to be a college town because we don't want to be like an anything town. Like we don't want to be an air park town where we have one industry,
Right.
That was like my concern of like saying that, but that's not at all what you mean by it. Like you just want to be like the go-to source of like teaching and educating and stuff. So that's what you mean by it, right?
It is. But I mean even more than that.
Okay.
I don't even want us to just be thought of as the source for education, even more simplified for bachelor's or master's degrees. I want us to be a preferred partner, somebody considered in the room in broader conversations about economic development.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want Wilmington College to be in the room when, a medical facility comes into town? Is there a chance for Wilmington College to collaborate? We have 1,000 students on campus. We have our own medical center. We have, pre-athletic training. We have a master's program in occupational therapy. Are there connections there that warrant a conversation, right? That's just one example. There are restaurants coming into town. We represent a significant population, right? Are there ways for us to partner?
That's a good point, yeah.
So I love it when attending economic development or having somebody from this team attend economic development meetings, to be part of Main Street Wilmington, to be part of Energize Clinton County, any of the kind of community development organizations. We want a seat at the table. We want to know that Wilmington College is a voice, that we're a potential partner, that we're considered, part of the community, that we're an extension of the community even, that we have all of these students that have interests that contribute to economic viability.
Yeah.
So it's a mind shift. It's a change in who gets invited to the table. I just want to make sure Wilmington College is represented as a constituent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you said last time, we want that college up on the hill. Or whatever.
No, yeah. These borders don't exist. We are Wilmington. We are Clinton County. And we're a large population. We're a fluid population, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we only capture students for 2 or 3 years, 3 or 4 years. However, it's for the majority of the year. Typically for residential students, it's August through May. So for a long time, a large portion of the year, we're here. We've got 1,000 students. How can we be part of these conversations? And then, moreover, they're going to graduate and they're going to look for career opportunities, right? Have we adequately connected them to workforce development opportunities that will serve both of us?
Yeah.
These mutual interests are something that I would call part of that exploration of being not just a town with a college, but a college town.
Someone once said that our biggest export in Wilmington is our children.
Yeah, right.
We need to stop that.
Yeah, we don't want them to go away. And they don't really want to go away.
Yeah.
A lot of them want to stay. They came to Wilmington College because it was close to home.
Mm-hmm.
Many of them want to stay close to home. But are we connecting them to those career opportunities? Are we even aware of the interface that's possible between, let's say, the air park or some of the tenants of the air park and Wilmington College?
Yeah.
Are we developing academic programs that line up with those, right? So I want to explore the interface in between Wilmington College and the community in a way that is strategic and that brings us to the table.
Yeah.
And if we achieve that, I'd say we're a college town.
Okay. Okay. I have a bit of a pivot question.
Yeah.
It's kind of related to community. Do you ever feel like there's tension between having a college campus that just maybe nationally leans like more progressive and a town that's more conservative?
I don't think about it politically at all. I mean, I don't think we set out to lean any direction. I think we hope our students come in with open minds and we foster and facilitate that. But ultimately, they're going to make those decisions on their own. And the best thing we can do is practice that respect for all persons and open inquiry. We want them to leave their zip code. We want them to travel. We want them to develop their own career path. I don't look at it as political at all. What I want, rather than the transfer of a political perspective, what we hope for is the transfer of values.
Yeah.
And so our Quaker values really represent kind of the compass, less so than a political motive.
Yeah. I just didn't know if there was like a perceived tension in the community because of that, or...
I don't sense it. Certainly it may be out there.
Sure.
But, we really are a reflection of the broad community. We mostly recruit from southwestern Ohio. I think we have about a 16-county region that represents our core population, and they're first generation. Many are rural. A lot of them are agricultural. So we look a lot like our
the surrounding community.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I wanted to ask about the Masonic Lodge project.
Yeah.
Because I saw that they had a request for ideas or something recently. And maybe a couple months ago, you guys helped facilitate a grant, I think, to get ideas for what it could be.
Yep.
So what's happened?
So we as a partner in economic development,
Yeah, exactly.
have agreed to sponsor a feasibility study for the Masonic building. And that is hopefully going to attract an investor who sees that as an opportunity. That feasibility study would identify unique opportunities that might occur in that building if it's developed in different ways. Maybe a multi-purpose building that has different floors that serve different interests. And we wanted to demonstrate with resources that we see Wilmington College as a contributor to economic development. So we sponsored that.
Yeah. Is that off of your guys' plate right now and to like back to the Port Authority?
It is. I think they're leading the request for
information.
Yeah. Yeah. And certainly we're interested in the development of that. If there's a chance for us to be a partner in that, if there are things we can do in that space, Wilmington College having a presence off campus and in the community uptown would, I think, be a benefit. But we'll just kind of have to see what the investors, what their interests are, and whether, those interests are mutually beneficial to Wilmington College. But we're definitely interested in seeing something happen with the Masonic building. It's a beautiful piece of architecture downtown that we want to see thrive. And, if there's a mutual interest for Wilmington College, great. But we sponsored the feasibility study.
Oh, yeah. I also hope that turns something pretty cool for
I think it will. It's a really neat space.
It's a big, for somebody.
And a long time ago, when my husband was a student here, it featured a deli that was very popular that you probably have heard about. The greatest sandwiches maybe in town. I spent a lot of time there. So if you've been a part of the community and you've witnessed, what's possible in that space, just one example, it will draw more people to uptown. And, I think we all want to see that thriving community.
I'm surprised. So I have a little tiny market that you've been to.
I have, yeah.
It's getting better, by the way.
Good, it's great.
But I'm just surprised. Like, it was hard to get people to come initially, but now it's like every day I get maybe a dozen people coming.
I'm certain of it.
And it's like, if there was people who wanted to build something downtown, people would come to it.
People will come.
They come to my lobby market. So they'll come to.
I come to your lobby market.
Yeah.
This community wants to support this community.
Yeah.
Whenever a restaurant comes in, ask the owner of the restaurant, are you overwhelmed? And they're going to say yes, I think, most of the time.
Yeah.
I think of Brad Hayes, who, has a multitude of restaurants. When they do an opening, it's for a couple years. It's not just a week or two frenzy or flurry. It's a flurry of interest for a long time. And I think it sticks. People want to see businesses come and be successful in this community.
Have you been to the new Blackbird yet?
No, I haven't gone there. I went on vacation last week, so I missed it. I've been watching their Facebook, stalking all the photos that they're posting.
I don't have Facebook, so I didn't know that flurry of stuff. But I went there with my team.
Yes,
it was packed.
Yes,
and I feel like they didn't.
Example.
Exactly. They didn't even do much renovations. It was like, here's some breakfast now, and it's crowded.
I think the window of time between when the old restaurant closed and the new one opened, people were just waiting, probably impatiently for whatever was coming next. They really work hard to support these businesses. So I'm excited to see what might be possible in the Masonic building. Because it's right there in the middle, right next to the Murphy Theater. It could be something really great.
Are there any stigmas or rumors that are out in the community that you hear that you want to address?
I can't say that I spend a lot of time,
as you should not,
entertaining stigmas or rumors. I know they're out there, but frankly, Wilmington College is moving so quickly that it's hard to pause to even react. We have so many things happening. If anything, there were rumors about the gift that I think got out before we made a formal announcement. I think people were curious what was happening, but we got that information out as soon as we could. And hopefully now those concerns have been quelled and we're moving on to what's next.
Yeah.
But we're moving fast. There's a lot happening at Wilmington, and I haven't had time to really process the chatter.
Last time we were here, Randy said that after you become president, you're going to get access to some secret rooms.
Oh, I never got access to the
What?
secret rooms. No, nobody
Chamber
let
of
me in.
Secrets
I have no
around here?
idea. Yeah, I think there are underground tunnels. I
Uh-huh.
think there's a vault in this building.
Okay.
I think there's something on the 4th floor, like a bell tower in this building. I have no idea. I've never been. I've never been in some of the locker rooms. I'd love to see what a locker room looks like,
Okay.
like the basketball team locker room. No, nobody's taken me anywhere.
Dang.
I know. The one privilege that I took advantage of, just one, because I don't want to have this like elitist perspective. Like
Uh-huh.
I, need to have access to these things. But
Give
the
it a few
one,
years.
no,
I'm
I
just kidding.
don't. I
I'm
don't.
kidding.
The one thing that I wanted to take advantage of was riding in the golf cart during the Jenna Parlett cross country meet. I wanted to ride in the pace car.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I wanted to get that front row seat into the race because there are thousands of runners and they start at the starting line, they fire the gun, and then they take off and they form this funnel and they're moving really fast and they go through the woods and it's just this incredible foot race. I wanted to see it. All I've ever been able to do is stand on the sidelines and cheer. And I love running. It's like a passion of mine. So to witness it was incredible. I wanted to be in that pace car.
Yeah.
And the first year as interim, Ron Combs, the coach, and I yelled at him all the time for this, told me no. He denied.
What?
Yes. And then last year I was like, I'm sorry, you can't tell me no.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit in that pace car. And so I did. And it was like the one time I pulled authoritative card and said, no, I want to ride in this car. I don't know why he was worried about getting hurt. I have no idea. But this year I said, no, I'm doing it.
That's so funny.
That's the one time.
I just talked to Simon Hayes at Cava House, and he said he got a job recently at a pace company.
Oh, you're
Pacing
kidding.
company, yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Here soon.
Very cool.
Speaking of pacing things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a whole industry, I guess.
So Simon Hayes is a great example. Earlier conversation about just witnessing the evolution of his career.
Yeah.
Right? When he came in, he was, and he'll tell you this, Wilmington College was not his first choice. He thought he would go maybe D2 or maybe D1. I don't know. He wanted to go to a big school, kind of wanted to get lost, be part of a big program. And then he changed his mind and he thought, well, I'll give it a shot. And boy, did he have an amazing career.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to watch him, not just his athletic career evolve, but his academic. I was his advisor, so I got to help, steward that with him. And he's going to be very successful. He just evolved into an outstanding young professional, and I know he'll be successful wherever he is. But witnessing that, very cool.
He's a good guy. For those who don't know, Simon Hayes is the son of Brad Hayes, who owns Cava House.
Yes. Yeah. Entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's a quote or piece of wisdom that's helped guide your life that people want to share with other people?
It's going to sound corny, and I don't mean to be corny, but it is the one. It's not by a leap, but by many small steps. It's actually the Latin phrase on the seal of Wilmington College, non saltus sed multis gradibus, not by a leap, but by many small steps. And it is my ethos. It's like how I operate. I'm a small person anyway, like my stature is small. So I feel like I'm always operating by small steps, but I just believe that change and growth and evolution happens little by little. Big change isn't necessary. It's sometimes not possible, but it's not necessary. What we need are small, incremental steps. Success is the accumulation of small things done well. That's what Jerry Sheevy said. And I think those two quotes go hand in hand. We don't need a revolution. We need small change. We need to lean into the things for which we have been successful and continue to foster success there. But small steps. And I feel like what's happening in higher education is people are trying to go through a revolution. They're trying to change too much at one time, or they're trying to change too quickly, or they're really trying to change a culture. It's too hard. It's not going to work. And sometimes the system implodes. It just breaks, because it's too much pressure to change. I don't believe in that. I believe that we recognize the things we're doing well and we support those in the way that we need to, financially and with human resources. And then we work to incrementally build on those. And that's what's happening at Wilmington. I call it the ecosystem.
The ecosystem?
The ecosystem, yeah. I mean, I was an environmental science major in graduate school, so it just makes sense to me. But the ecosystem is kind of this large system that is Wilmington College or even higher education. And, I wake up every day assuming it's out of balance somewhere. Not major imbalance, but small imbalances. And, I'm working to foster teams that are committed to making the adjustments we need to make to bring it back in balance. I will say it's never in balance. That's like an error to assume that it would ever be in balance totally, and you can kind of like walk away and it'll self-regulate. That doesn't happen. There are imbalances that happen every day, and have I created a team that's committed to and willing and has the resources to make the minor adjustments, the small steps needed to bring it back into balance.
Is it also just being consistent too, like with many small steps? It's not just always focusing on the change, but doing the small steps that are gonna like over time.
Yeah.
And also maintaining.
You got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to, I think, be confident in those steps. Smaller steps are easier, though, to be confident in because, you're moving, you're still moving in some direction. If we're all moving together, even better. But these are small steps. Success is the accumulation of small things done well. Jerry Sheevy.
Last question I have is, what would you think would be a positive change in our community? So it can be anything. It can be an attitude. It can be a business. It can be resource.
I'm going to say something that is reflective of these small steps, leaning into the things that we already have and really building them up. So my example will be the trails, right? Clinton County has some great bicycle trails, walking, running. Those trails go a number of directions. They're well supported. We have restaurants and coffee shops along them.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They go through some of our greatest assets in the community that you get to witness as you're walking by. It supports kind of a healthy lifestyle, health and wellness. They go right through our city parks. I think it's a great example of something we already do well. How can we be excellent there? Right? We have a great downtown. It's open. It has restaurants. It has a historic theater. It even has the Masonic building, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. How do we lean into that and make the small adjustments to make it even better?
Yeah.
I don't believe in a revolution. I believe in or throwing things out or starting over or totally changing anything. I believe in small adjustments.
Yeah. I'm leading this like initiative to become a charter city, and I was like have examples of like Lebanon and Loveland and Miamisburg, nice cities, you know. But it's like even those nice cities that I will reference, they don't have like Ohio's largest cargo airport.
Right.
They don't have like a historic theater.
Amen.
They don't have accredited college.
I got it.
So like, we have so many good things.
Yes.
If they just lean in, we'd be kicking butt.
Yes. You're preach. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But you mentioned earlier, is it a mindset? I do think it's important to be proud of those things.
Yes.
And to showcase that pride.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Wilmington College needs to work. That's where Jerry Sheevy called us out and said, you're not showcasing your pride. And part of his gift will allow us to showcase that pride, but it changes how people feel about, the college or the community when you share those points of pride, that you show how much you love it, that you're not afraid or you don't hold back on really talking about the joy that comes from this community or from these attributes. I spend a lot of time making sure I stay positive and I say positive things about Wilmington College so that people understand. And it's not just a false notion of positivity. I believe in Wilmington College through and through, from the heart. Absolutely. I believe that we can make improvements, but I don't hold back on showing off that pride.
Yeah.
And I think it is a mind shift. We'll have to do it more.
I'm proud of what you do in our community. I'm proud of how like, well the campus is kept. I'm proud of like you guys' involvement with different things.
Yeah.
I'm proud that you guys are like building that new equestrian facility and the new athletic facility. So like I'm proud of what you're doing for Wilmington. I
appreciate that. It's a great mindset to share. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, that's all I have.
Oh, well.
Any closing thoughts?
Not by a leap, but by many small steps. No, I'm excited. I hope you can come back and we can talk more as all of these projects evolve. We're going to have a lot happening in the next 3 years.
Hope your son's first year at college goes well.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that's it for our podcast today, folks. I hope you enjoyed our interview with Cockerill, who is the first inaugurated female president of Wilmington College. If you have any more questions or ideas for her, please feel free to reach out directly. If she'll talk to us dorks, she will certainly talk to you as well. After all, we are a community of empowered individuals. If you want to get in touch with Real Change Wilmington, you can contact us on our website, realchangewilmington.com. Visit our Facebook or Instagram pages, or grab a copy of our free local newspaper at Kroger's, Sam's Meats, and Fiesta Veracruz. We also currently send our newspaper direct mail to over 2,500 Wilmington residents a month. So if you want to help us cover our printing costs and advertise your local business, event, or a job posting, please email us at advertise@realchangewilmington.com. With that, I'm your host, Dustin Pierce. Keep it real, Wilmington.